Dance with Intention. Here we are in week 2 of continuing education. We did a review of what we learned last week, but we broke it down a little bit more, finessed it out, ironed out some kinks, and added in some additional options. So, we took a look at our right side pass with the outside turn to the side step to the right, kind of mirroring each other in that lunge. When we did this move, last week we talked about it being an entrance where you have the 1 and a cross on 2. We also gave you alternative footwork leaders where you're going back on 1 and then taking your second step behind your first 1, or continuing to move down the slide. Then we had you cross your third foot in the direction that your follower is going. So you took your cross step and then you opened up and took your last step for 4 with her. This is all single counting for the leaders then. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, and 4, depending on how you were kind of working out that footwork for yourself. So, going through the first half of the pattern, we have walk, walk, 3 and 4. We talked about here for the leaders at the entrance that when you're raising your hand, that you want to make sure you're flipping it early on. So as you're taking the hand up, that you're flipping the fingers as soon as possible, like way before you even elevate the arm and start raising it. We also talked about leaders thinking about finding your finger pads of your follower and making sure that your fingertips are kind of going inside of her palm in the center, right? Or towards the edge. So either one of those are like really great. And the reason for that is so that your follower has something to kind of curve around. So you can see that my hand doesn't stay flat. It starts to concave in the contact point that I'm feeling. From that C curve, then it gives you something to rotate as you build your lead for turning me down the slide, which we added 2 rotations this week. So it's super important that we enter as efficiently as possible so that we have somewhere to go with the second turn. So flip that hand quick, raise it up, 2, second turn, lower the hand, send her to the right hip stance. The second part that we kind of broke down and cleaned up was the exit. So leaders, after you've led a second turn, you don't want to keep sending force and then bring an abrupt stop to the ending and sending her away. You want to make sure that as you're leading that second turn, you're initiating the rotation and then starting to let the energy lower down or deactivate. You don't need to give so much force. She already is going to, you've already communicated that second turn. She's going to fill it out for you. The second part of that is as you're starting to lower, that we want to, I'm going to take over the lead here, that we want to then, as we're lowering down, start to send the energy through her hand into her elbow so it feels nice and long. From this point, you can see that my palm as the leader is pointed downward, not to have my thumb up, but to have my thumb pointed straight outward and palm down. For this to work really well, I want to make sure that I'm feeling a little bit of softness in my elbow so that as my follower finishes on the step of count 4, she has room to create stretch for me to then also fill that, and I go, oh, we're not just all both here and we're like sagging and lagging. This feels dead and like we're in water and we don't have any power to go anywhere. If I take that step on count 4 with Mark as he goes 4, I can feel him go just a little bit tad further than me. That's what I want. I want the followers to create stretch from this contact point. That gives us somewhere to go, which is now to our hammer lock. So when we do a hammer lock exit from this point, this is why we needed the palm to be pointed downward, leaders, because it's make it a lot easier for you to lower the hand as you're taking a step, and that lowering then initiates an exit for the flip around into the hammer lock. If we go back, in class we were talking about as you're taking your step on 1 and you're lowering the hand right away, you also let your follower rotate. So you want to keep, my handhold goes from holding something to kind of not holding anything and just letting her hands and her fingers flip around inside of mine. So I don't keep holding her fingers and flipping them around for her or him. In this case, I have a hold, I bring the follower towards me, I kind of let go. My hand is palm flat, and the follower made all of that rotation on their own. So you can see again that this is where we're at, and then I go like this, they stay connected to me, and then now they're in hammer lock handhold. So again, we talked a lot about how the follower is responsible to execute this, but leaders, you initiate and then kind of just allow it to happen. So don't manipulate and manhandle everything all the way through. The next part is when we take that step for the exit of the hammer lock, Mark and I were talking about how you send energy through the follow and they unwind from that. They understand that it's the end of the slot and that's the finishing point. So you don't like pull their hand away from them, you don't flip it down and twist it. You're just taking a nice entrance into the hammer lock and then you're sending them out and they come out. If they over-rotate, that's their thing. That's not you. You didn't make that happen. If they don't even unwind at all, again, that's not on you, leaders. That's on them. Followers need to know that. That's a piece of information that we manage and control. Any other things we touched on this week? We did a outside turn single, we did an outside turn double, we did the cuddle, we did the hammer lock, and we did a free spin exit. So those were all the main points that we took on. We'll show you all 3 back to back. Mark's gonna lead them. So we start with the sugar push in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Single outside to the hip, step, 3 and 4, go 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, and 10. I think that was cuddle. Free spin exit on the next one. Out, free spin. And then we did the last one with a double, and then the hammer lock exit. Double, reach, hammer lock exit, and reset. All right? Great job this week, guys. See you next time.